Hi guys, this is Luann, and this is hopefully the third and final video for the tutorial on my mini album folder, excuse me, which is this book. I had pre-recorded all three videos, and they ended up being two of them ended up being too long, the first and the third, so the only one that uploaded was the second. So I had to redo them since I did finish the album that I had initially started the tutorial with. So in the end of the second video, I started talking about how I cut my sheets to do the album. So I'm just going to start on that and go from there. I already have my album made, inked the edges, have ribbon binding, so it's just ready to be covered up with paper. So I used 10 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock. I'm going to be using for this one the DCWV Spring Fling collection. It's from last year. I'm such a paper hoarder, and I refuse to buy any more paper. I have so many paper packs. I need to use them. So this is how I cut them. You need to decide which two are going to be your front cover and your back cover. For your front cover and your back cover, you're only going to be cutting the 12 by 12. You can use one 12 by 12 to cover the front and the back, making it 9 sheets of 12 by 12. I don't want to get into the details because I'll just confuse everybody, including myself. So, all of the full sheets, the full page sheets, measure 5 7/8 by 7 3/8. So decide which two papers you're going to use for your cover, your back cover and your front cover, only because once you cut it out, the remainder can be used for a trifold. So if you don't need to cut that out, you can use that for a trifold. Now all of the other sheets are cut for 3 pieces, and the remainder of the 12 by 12 is used for tags or photo mats. So this is what we're going to start off with. The 12 by 12, we're going to cut it down to 5 7/8. And then we're going to cut it, rotate and cut it down to 7 3/8. So this is going to be the paper for your full sheets, which are these. Do it that way. So that is going to cover your full sheets. And with this same piece of paper that's left, you're going to cut that down to, whoa, that's the ribbon. You're going to cut that down to 2 3/8. We already have it cut it down to 5 7/8, so we just need to cut that down to 2 3/8. This you can fold this and do a tag, or you can do a tri-fold and do a little mini tag. This will go for the pockets. See, this will cover the full sheets, and these will cover the pockets or the panels here, like so. And with your remainder sheet, you're going to rotate that and cut it down to 5 1/2. And this is what you're left with. And this, you can cut it down, use it as a photo mat, tags, you can use this however you want, but this is very useful. So with this sheet that's left, you're going to rotate and cut it down to 5 3/4. And this is the only piece that you will be throwing away. Not needed. So once you're done with that, excuse me, this will go inside your pocket page, like so. Now on the inside here, you're going to be left with, I don't know if you can tell, just a little bit of a gap on the side that's not covered. People aren't going to notice that, so that's not a big deal. You can cut it a little bit wider if you want, but I cut it down this way because it's easier to slide into the pocket. So those are going to be how you cut your sheets. I've already pre-cut all of my sheets. And this is what I have left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets that I can cut down to 6 and 12 inches and create trifold pockets. I have these large pieces left and these pieces. These I can I can fold in half or fold in threes and do little journaling or little pictures. So this is what I will be using for my tags, but I won't show this in the video. This will be done after I'm done covering the sheets. So I've already have all of my pages selected, so we're going to be gluing down the sheets. If you're going to do ribbon closure, I'm not going to do ribbon closure for this one. I debated that, but I'm not going to do that for right now. But if you want to do ribbon closure, you want to do it right now. And what you would be doing, excuse me, is just grabbing your ribbon. This is just my random ribbon. No, you can't see this one. I'll use a different one. I'll use this pink one. You can glue the ribbon down like this, and then glue your paper down. And that'll create your ribbon closure. Or before you fold these sheets down, you can insert an eyelet here and then just insert your ribbon through there, tape the glue down on the inside, and the ribbon will come out through the eyelet here. If you do it this way, it's flatter. Actually, when I glue my ribbon down, I glue it down all the way so that it's really secure. Glue it down all the way to this side. Sorry, I think I'm off frame. Yeah, that's the ribbon. You cover it up, and that's it. You can have it longer, of course. I'm not going to have ribbon binding for this one. So we're going to glue down my cover. Like I said, I'm only going to do a few pages. I'm not going to do the whole album on video because I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing additional pockets. I'm not doing, like I usually do a waterfall page in my albums. Excuse me. I'm not going to do this on this album because I like my waterfall pages, or my albums that have my waterfall pages, to include more hinge space. So here's the cover sheet. And I used old paper to ink the edges. And then for my actual designer paper, I used vintage photo to ink, and for the seam binding, I just used vintage photo for that too. So this is my cover. I absolutely love this page. I love spring colors. I wish it was spring all year long. For my second sheet, oh, I have to show you how to assemble the fold-out sheet here. So again, these are the pages that you are left with. And I did forget to mention that on the other, because you are left with 4 12-inch by a little over 6-inch sheets, which are these. These sheets here are going to fold out. So you're going to have 8 sheets that are, what was the measurement? 5 7/8 by 7 3/8. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your top sheet and your bottom sheet. So this is going to be your base sheet, and this is going to be my sheet that folds out, like so. So for the top sheet, you're going to score it for this one, and I'm videotaping upside down. You're going to you're going to score it on your right hand side 1/2 inch. I did say score, right? You're going to score. Grab your scoreboard. Oh, mine is already scored. Score 1/2 inch. Once you score it, this is my scored sheet. You're going to wrap it around the base of your sheet. And you're going to glue it down. And you don't have to use a lot of glue because we're going to glue the base sheet down. So this is the sheet that will go down, and it'll fold out this way. Now keep in mind, depending on your images, on the two front full page sheets, which is this one and this one, the fold out will fold out to your right hand side. Once you get to the center and you start going back, your full page is on your left hand side. So the fold needs to be on your left. So it's folding out. And this is the sheet that's actually going on one of these last pages. So just keep in mind when you're scoring your designer paper that your image is, oriented in the right direction. So back to my first sheet. This is my back cover. And I think I totally just lost, I think this was here. Nope, I'm completely wrong. This goes in the back. This is my first page. That goes there. My panel and my inside pocket. So I'm going to glue down my full sheet first. Now you can add other fold outs. Now this one is folding out to my right, but you can include the one that folds out to the right like I've done, and you can also include another that folds upwards and downwards to create more photo space. And you can also glue down all of your sheets before you do the binding, if that's easier for you. You want to get, an even border around your cardstock. So there's my first sheet. Folds out this way. You can also cover this sheet with more designer paper and just insert a magnet in the center. Sandwich a magnet in there so that it stays closed. The pictures that I'm going to be putting, well, any pictures that you put in any album will weigh down the page, so it won't flop open every time you open your sheet. Or sorry, every time you open your page. My panel page. And I absolutely love this glue because it's Eileen's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. It gives you some time, some room for movement in case you stuck down your page incorrectly, but it doesn't warp your page, your paper, like most other glues do. This same brand has another glue. It's not Fast Grab, it's Quick Dry, I think, and that one does buckle my paper. So I don't tend to use that one very often. So this sheet you're going to slide into your pocket. And glue that down. And that's all there is to it. For this panel here, you can cut out a strip of 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches to cover this piece. You can cut it a little bit wider too if you want a smaller border around it. And for these corners, I did a decorative punch. I didn't do this in the second video because that was a different album that I was working on, but you can do decorative punches here and on these corners. Or even here, you can do that as well. But this is the page. And for my daughter's mini, I needed an extra page for an additional princess. So what I ended up doing is on the back page, I included, this was cut, can't remember the size of this, but it's 12 inches. And I scored at the top, folded it over, and I attached another piece of cardstock here. So there you have it. You can do that along with this fold out. You can include another fold out. So that's how I did my mini album, my princess mini album. And you just continue to attach your pages and create your photo mats. Simple as that. If you guys have, here, now it's not upside down. If you guys have any questions, please comment me. I hope everything was seamless. It's as seamless as I'm gonna get it right now, but hope you guys like it, and if you guys have any questions, comment me. Happy crafting!